So my husband comes from a traditional family. His mom's a stay-at-home mom, and his father was the sole provider. I come from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade me from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He often pulled more than his weight. He was an engaged and present father and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on his family's opinions. We all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual Monday is that I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work or school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holidays, so in the meantime, we're DIY in the cleaning. It's down to everyone to keep their space clean, and the common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work, that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother, and that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I wouldn't be chastised about how I live my life in my home when I'm a guest in their home. I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was, and they have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I typically get home at 6:15 or 6:30, and we eat at 8 p.m. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me, so I just walked away and ordered takeout. I dished up for my kids and me, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still talking about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say, and he said his mother had a point and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the idiot. I told him tradition wouldn't allow a man on $35,000 to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be so misogynistic. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I busted my butt to clean up his mess, on top of having to deal with his parents, was too much for me. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot sucks that the kids had to hear all of that, but do not feel guilty over this. When he joined his mother in her BS, he brought it upon himself. He needed that reality check, and it sounds like it stung him hard. Next time the in-laws show up, just take the kids and leave. Let him deal with his parents' stupidity. Just because they're family does not mean that you have to put up with their crap. Honestly, you should have ordered only enough food for you and the kids. I'm more surprised she didn't order a hotel room for the in-laws and her soon-to-be ex. I call him soon-to-be ex because he never would have pulled this stunt if he didn't believe his mom and dad down in his heart of hearts. Your husband needs a spine. Desperately. I love that you ordered enough. You did your duty and fed your family, so they can't be mad. And you did it as an income provider also, which is like a double kill them with kindness kick. This is all on him. He decided it was better for him and easier for him to risk your feelings than stand up to his parents. He chose to upset you versus upsetting his mother. I love that joke. Husband comes home to stay-at-home mom and says, "You've been at home all day? Why isn't the house clean?" She replies, "You've been at work all day. Why aren't we rich?" Tell the in-laws they are no longer welcome in your home. If the husband wants to see them, he can go visit them. Be firm and take care of yourself first. I didn't know that my girlfriend was married. We met at an old-school pickup joint in my city on Thursdays, where they offer free salsa lessons, and there are always a lot of women there. I'm from Colombia, so I go for fun. I live downtown, so we would just go to my place. I work out of town, so I don't need much there. There wouldn't be room for 2 people to live, but there's lots of room for other stuff. She said she lived with her sister and her sister's kids, so we never went to her place. She always took my calls and texted me back right away, so it didn't seem like she was trying to hide me. I learned from a friend that she's married and lives with her husband in a town just south of my city. We work in the same industry, and he works with a friend of mine. I've actually worked with him before in my job. I work at different petrochemical extraction and refining plants, so over the course of my career, I've worked with thousands of guys, no exaggeration. He works in the head office now, so I guess she thought I would never run into him. I debated about it and contacted him, apologizing for the situation and proving I wasn't lying to mess with him or anything, just screenshots of texts and such. She called me screaming that I ruined her life, that she wasn't hurting me, and that it wasn't my place to interfere. She blocked me after she ran herself down. My buddies all think I'm an idiot for getting involved. They think I should either continue doing what we were doing or break up with her and let her go on with her life. None of them think I should have contacted her husband. So, am I Thea for telling my girlfriend's husband about this? Bro, you're a good person. Get better friends. Your current ones don't deserve to be called men at all. You did the very best thing you could have done. It was selfless, courageous, and morally correct. Well played, brother. Don't look back. You are not the idiot. She ruined her life, not you. That guy deserved to know. She ruined her life. Exactly. She's just upset because she has to face the consequences of her choices. It's a tough decision, but I hope he did the right thing. Sometimes the right thing is difficult, and sometimes selfish people will hate you for it. But it's the right decision, dude. With your friend's response, how many of them do you think have or are cheating? You did the right thing. Your friends are trashy. Sure, you could continue with the hookup if that's all you ever want. But what if you want more? You'd be wasting all that time with a liar and a cheat. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3. My fiancé works Monday through Friday at his regular job, where he has to go to different restaurants and establishments to drop off things. He's given free food from these places every day. He's always telling me what he was given for free, so I know it's literally at least 4 out of 5 days he goes to this job. I barely get to eat during the day because the kids never let me get a minute to myself. As soon as I even think about eating, one of my kids starts crying or needing me. Today, I asked him to get a specific type of chicken out of the deep freezer and put it in the fridge to defrost so I could cook dinner. After about an hour or so of the chicken defrosting, I went to the kitchen to see if it was ready to be seasoned and cooked. It turned out to be the wrong type of chicken, even after I specifically told him which one to get. My whole mood was thrown off. I didn't even want to cook anymore, and he wanted to know why I had an attitude. I feel like he does certain things on purpose, weaponized incompetence. Why can't he do anything the right way the first time? Why do I feel like I can't even ask him to do a simple favor like taking specific meat out of the freezer without hovering over him to make sure he's doing what I asked and not what he thought he heard? Am I wrong for snapping at him when he tried to act like it was no big deal to me? It is a big deal because it's every single time I ask him to help me do anything. I feel like he purposely does the task wrong. The point of me bringing up that he gets free food all day is that I don't think he understands how hungry I am when he gets home. I actually get a chance to eat because he gets to eat all day at work without kids interrupting his meals. So when I want something specific, I want that and that only. So, am I the idiot? You are the idiot for not caring for yourself during the day and blaming that on your partner. Let your kids whine while you eat. They will be fine. Let them learn to be patient, unless they need the emergency room or have another pressing need. If they need more water or juice, they can wait. A diaper change can wait for 5 minutes while you eat something. You're choosing not to eat during the day, so you can eat when the kids do. You're trying to have an issue, but as far as this goes, you have to learn to roll with it. You're disappointed about the defrosted chicken? Okay, move on or order takeout. Update. I cooked dinner and took people's advice on how to speak to him about it, even though I've done this before. I did it again and used every type of open communication I could and thought we were moving in a new direction. My nonverbal, autistic son is sick right now, which is another reason I'm overwhelmed. He's had a high fever all day. I've been trying to combat it with Tylenol and keep him hydrated and comfortable. I tried again to ask him to do one thing and see if it would be done correctly. I asked him to get our son's sippy cup and fill it with some Pedialyte while I checked his temperature again to see if it was going down any. As I was putting our son back in bed with this sippy cup, the top is see-through, and I saw milk. I asked him, "Hey babe, what's in here?" And he said, "Sure, as you told me to put." So all of you calling me the idiot, absolutely not. This is purposeful. Ditch the loser. Like, come on. It's every time. He botched the chicken. He be the Pedialyte. You'll never know peace while you're in this situation, so get out of it. Living alone would be easier than living with him, as long as you can financially keep your head above water. He is such a how the heck do you confuse Pedialyte with milk kind of man. Is he illiterate? He did it on purpose, guessing he wants out and wants her to be the bad guy and end it. Girl, please work on taking care of yourself. Don't marry him, like some of the other comments. I will say this, it does not change. Don't do that to yourself. It's easier on many levels to take care of things with 3 kids than with 4, one of them being a grown toddler man. I hope things change for the better. Good luck. I, female 26, just had twins, a boy and a girl, about 6 weeks ago. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband, who is 35, goes to work during the day. We got into this disagreement which resulted in a big fight 2 days ago. So, it was around 6:30 when my husband got home, and I was trying to clean some things up. My son is a very quiet baby, whereas my daughter is very fussy and wants to be held 24/7. She will only fall asleep if my husband or I are rocking her. We even spent a ridiculous amount of money on self-rocking cribs, but nothing worked for her. So, my husband gets home, lets himself in, and sees me cleaning with our daughter in a baby harness on my chest. Immediately, he's concerned about where our son is. I tell him he's taking a nap right there, right in the living room where I am, where the other bassinets are. I can see him and hear him. He's okay. My husband then proceeded to wake a sleeping baby, coddle him, and check him and stuff. I'm like, okay, thanks, but he was sleeping, and now I have 2 awake babies that will scream, so thanks. I was a little snippy, I admit, but then my husband got very loud with me and accused me of favoring our daughter because she's a girl. I was stricken, and this is obviously not true. I told him that, but he was just shaking his head and disturbing everyone's peace. He told me he noticed it when the babies cried at night, and I reached for her first. I explained that the only reason I do that is because she's the one waking up more often, and my son mostly wakes up because of her. It's easier to soothe her back to sleep, which I let him do. He didn't like that answer and basically scorned me, telling me I needed to work through my reasoning for not liking my son. I told him to leave me alone. I absolutely adore my son. I love him so much, just as much as his sister. I don't understand how any of this makes me the idiot, but I don't know, maybe I am. If you wake a sleeping baby, they are automatically your problem. You wake, you take. So from here on out, the second he walks in the door, hand over your daughter to him and let him deal with the fussy one. Take your son, lie down with him, and take a nap. Yeah, after his stupid accusations, I would have handed him the girl he woke asleep. Sleeping baby, what the heck is that? And left. After about an hour or so, I might come back. Maybe. What an idiot the husband is. The next 18 years should be so much fun. So is dumb, but went and woke a sleeping baby just so he could weaponize it against you. What the heck is wrong with both of you? Why are you with someone like that? And why is he dumb as heck? His stupidity is making me angry. How OP was able to look past that is beyond me. I'm so mad just reading about it. Obviously, he does literally nothing and knows nothing about them. Am I the only one wondering how long they've been together and whether that's a pattern? I mean, the age gap is quite big here, and with her being a stay-at-home mom now, it feels really icky. I'm a 28-year-old male who works in a small office with a close-knit team. We all get along well, except for a borrowing habit of my coworker, Lola, a 30-year-old female. Here's the issue. Lola constantly borrows my stuff, staplers, highlighters, and even my lunch, though she sheepishly replaced it. I get it. Small things happen, but it's become excessive. My stapler goes missing, and I find it on her desk. I bring a new pack of pins, and half of them are gone by the end of the week. The other day, I brought in a specific coffee mug from my favorite band, a limited edition one. It wasn't dishwasher safe, so I hand-washed it and left it on my desk to dry. I came back from a meeting, and it's gone. I see Lola using it at her desk. I calmly asked for it back, explaining it was very special. She apologized and said she'd been careful, but I was firm. I told her I needed it back because it wasn't something I wanted to risk getting damaged. She got huffy, claiming I was being dramatic and that it was just a mug. I told her it wasn't just a mug to me, and that repeatedly taking things without asking was inconsiderate. She stormed off, and now everyone's giving me the silent treatment, implying I overreacted. So, am I the idiot for calling out Lola's borrowing habit, especially over just a mug? So your coworker steals from you constantly. Start taking things from her desk or loudly ask for your items back. I mean, if everyone starts getting after you for that, tell someone else to fund her office work because she keeps taking mine. Or pay a little bit and get a bunch of engraved or printed pins stolen from the desk of OP name. Then, when she takes them, point out that she can please read the inscription. There's no point in marking the items. She doesn't care that they're identifiable as yours. The mug was clearly yours, and she doesn't deny taking your things. For some reason, she's concentrated on taking yours. Is her desk closest? Does she have a crush? Or does she hate him? Does she get the biggest reaction from him? I'd silently go clean your desk for a while and see what happens. Be super nice to everyone, bring in cookies, and put one on everyone's desk, including hers, to show you're not treating her differently. Or act like an adult in the office, report to HR or your manager. Oh, and by the way, she's not borrowing. This woman is a thief who gets pleasure and a sense of control by taking other people's belongings. She's doing it consciously and deliberately, not the idiot. It's time to get it in writing. Send her a calm and factual email explaining that she's been borrowing your personal items and that this will no longer be acceptable to you. Escalate this to the supervisor level because it's affecting your work relationships and the work environment, and CC your boss. Also, it's extra insurance.